I'm finally here. Sorry about that, folks. Had a couple things come up. You know how it is. Before we start the show today, I would like to engage in a very small amount of what you kids call the React Andy. I just saw something that made me big smile. Like, huge smile. I'd like to go to x.com for a second so that we can talk about Dota and Christmas. So I don't play Dota 2, and I've never played Dota 2, but apparently Dota is very funny. Apparently Dota is the funniest thing I've ever heard of in my fucking life. So we're going to go and look at this video here at R. Lewis Reports. Let's take a look. No sound? Darn. Let's try that again.
What did you get from the gift chest? Oh. Owned. Open gift. What did I get? What? I got banned? Till 118? What? What if I just never opened it? Are they serious?
There's so much going on here, but my personal favorite is the name. It's a highly toxic lump of coal. It's so funny. So this one along with a blog post in which they discussed how pro players had long had Smurf accounts and that it was just one of those things. And Valve has decided no, pro players can't have Smurf accounts. The rules are for everyone. But it comes with the fucking. It comes with a what do you call it? Like a set of taunts that says like you earned it. So, to those of you who don't understand they gave up different levels of bans that had different names. There was regular lump, toxic, and highly toxic. Oh my god, that's incredible. So, what a Smurf account is very simple, and it's a very big problem in games that don't require you to buy them. A Smurf account is say, hey, listen, I am a top of platinum Street Fighter player, right? That's not like I'm not the best Street Fighter player in the world, but I can beat like a significant portion of the player base. So I do all my placement matches in Street Fighter, and I get, plat 5 or plat 4, right? And then I'm like, oh, this is really hard. So then what I say is like, you know what I'll do? I will wait till Street Fighter 6 goes free to play, blah, blah, blah. And I'll sign up a fake account with a Google phone number. And what I'll do is I'll fail all my placement matches on purpose. And that'll put me into like the bottom of iron. And then I can just play on my shit account and just beat on people for days and days and days until I catch up to my old ranking. and then I'll go make another new fake account. Smurfing is awful. Smurfing is such a gigantic, legitimate problem. It is maybe the single worst problem in the matchmaking system of your average game. Neon Blue, I still don't understand it. Okay, let me try this way. Neon Blue, try this. Imagine Mike Tyson at the height of his boxing career put on a fat suit and a wig and went to an amateur boxing competition. And then signed up, and then when he got into the ring, took all that shit off and just started killing people. That's what smurfing is. Right? Smurfing is my dad telling me he's not that good at pool. I might talk to my mom on the phone today. How's dad? He's bored. He can't golf anymore, and pool is boring to him now. So he's not banned from the pool hall. He's banned from making money at the pool hall. Does he win at golf? Nah, he's okay. He's okay at golf. He's better than me, but he's like, he's fine. I remember not understanding because golf is like white people, the sport. And I didn't get the appeal for a long time. But the appeal of golf is just hanging out on like a nice outside day. It's like fishing. Like golf courses are nice to be on. That's it. Yeah, it's fishing, but you walk around. Or sometimes you drive a fun little go-kart. That's it. But yeah, no, smurfing is a massive problem. It's much worse. It's much, much worse than poorly made skill-based matchmaking. Though, it's funny because, I went and read... You know what? Let's see if I can go find it. Halo 2 multiplayer... Am I going to be able to... Got it! Well, that was easy. All right. So, let's talk about skill-based matchmaking. Now, skill-based matchmaking traditionally is in games that are 5v5, 4v4, 6v6. Large team games in which you have a large amount of variables and a lot of player skill to interact with each other, right? And the ideal of skill-based matchmaking is that you're going to have a good game. You're not going to completely steamroll anyone, and you're not going to get completely steamrolled is the ideal, right? And we've seen Call of Duty players lament it dramatically, saying they don't want to sweat in every lobby. We've seen a guy attempt to set up COD 3 lobbies in a pediatric cancer ward for sick footage. We've seen content creators attempt to like change the region of their country and play at certain times to fight children, like foreign children. It's a whole thing. And Call of Duty in particular does it very poorly, and Call of Duty does it poorly in a really specific way. And that is, Call of Duty is so, oh man, there's so much here. So fighting games have matchups, right? And in a fighting game, your matchup can be 9-1, which means you're expected to win 9 times versus the other character's 1 win, or 6-4, and it's a basic determiner of character strength versus another character, right? Call of Duty wants to live in what's called the 5-5 utopia, in which every match is so close, it's so close, it could go to the buzzer every time. It's the most exciting game you could ever have every time. And that is a laudable goal. And it is a fantasy because, you know, the maybe there's that not perfect 5 perfectly maybe there aren't 5 perfect characters to fight, right? Professional Witchburner points out there's a vid about skill-based matchmaking in the new COD where a guy with his friends did so well in one night the game couldn't find them a lobby for any of them, even at 300 plus ping where they were okay at best. So that's why for a lobby system you have something really strange in like the Guilty Gear Strive lobby, in which there's the 10 floors, and then you have a mutually exclusive expected to lose like heavenly floor, which is a cool idea. But the reason that Call of Duty has such a specific problem is that the way that it determines whether or not its own algorithm is successful at creating the 5-5 utopia is by nudging your matches so that you have a 50% win-loss ratio. It's missing the forest for the trees. And what does this end? So for average to above average player, what does this manifest as? This manifests as, I got completely dominated this round. I dominated completely the next. I got completely fucking owned. Man, did they set us up against kids. And it ping pongs back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to try and get you at 50%. And if you win twice in a row, it's going to kick your ELO ranking like so high that you are guaranteed to lose the next one. Right? And so, way back in the day, a gentleman by the name of Max Hoberman worked on the Halo 2 and 3, which I don't know if you guys remember Halo 2 and 3 because that was decades ago now. But Halo 2 and 3 did not have this problem. It didn't. It didn't have that problem. And one of the reasons that it didn't have that problem is because this guy designed it. Quote, hold on, let me check something. Okay, there. Quote, the ignorance here is infuriating. He's referencing a Games Radar article about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and skill-based lobbies. As he mentioned the skill-based matchmaking component that I designed, that'd be Max Hoberman, for Halo 2 and 3 on the site every so often. It's usually mentioned reverently, but an outlier jumps in to claim that it can't work today. I disagree. What I implemented cleanly divided the space into ranked and unranked matchmaking playlists. Ranked filtered opponents based on level. This was for when you wanted a competitive match. But even then, I intentionally allowed variability in the range of levels we matched you with. This variability was a hot debate topic internally during development 20 years ago. Obviously, no one wants to get stomped continuously. On the flip side, it gets dull for most people, continuously stomping others. However, it is fun to have the upper hand some of the time. By intentionally allowing a range of skills to match together, we provided 3 experiences: an easier match where you kick butt, a harder match where you're probably outmatched, and an evenly matched one. My theory was that a good mix of the 3 was ideal. Why not always evenly match people, though? My reasoning was that these are actually the most stressful matches. Sure, they're the most fun to watch for spectators. Games come down to the wire. That's because the team that wins is the team that outperforms expectations. The failure of modern-based skill-based matchmaking is that it's designed to maximize these perfect match scenarios and minimize others. When it's working, a majority of games become super tight, super stressful. That's not fun for most players. Where is the variability? The system that I designed, that'd be Max Hoberman, for ranked playlists ensured a healthy mix. Sure, it sucks watching your favorite team get their butt kicked, but it comes full circle when they're the ones kicking butt. Throw in tight, evenly matched games every so often, and it's a lot of fun. I haven't even gotten to the unranked playlists yet. I designed these to not factor in skill level in the search for opponents. Yes, our engineers utilized the same code base and kept skill level as a search criteria, but we substantially deprioritized it in the matchmaking. We also didn't track skill level globally, only per playlist. The net result was that unranked matchmaking allowed for a very wide range of skill levels to match together for what everybody agreed was casual, inconsequential fun. Again, that's what it should be in my opinion. Since the natural skill level distribution of players follows a bell curve. If you don't know what a bell curve is, you can look it up. It's very obvious. It basically says that the mass majority of results are always in the middle and that tapers out at the extremes. There are outliers, inherently low and high skill players. Characterizing the high skill ones as sweaty teens hopped up on monster energy is very disrespectful. Segregating high skill level players from the population at large, forcing long wait times on them, is a form of discrimination. Designers should strive to find a way that players of all skill levels can have fun together. Casual, inconsequential, unranked matchmaking is one way. I dabbled with handicap settings and an asymmetric game mode design as others. Game devs should take the easy way out and default to segregation, though. There's far more that can be done. Derogatory views like this among game devs is a cop-out and a disservice to players. So, what's fun about this is that, and I'll use an example that I'm going to assume most of you guys would be familiar with, is Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 has a very, very good mix of ranked modes. It's probably the best I have ever played. Okay? You do placements, you place, it requires a lot of points to level up, it requires similar amounts of points to level down, it becomes harder and harder to go up. So if I'm plat 4 and I play somebody who's plat 4, I'm in a ranked match, I'm gonna have to fight my ass for it. I'm gonna have to fucking go, right? And I can sit there and I can sit in ranked queue and fight plat 4, plat 5 people for hours and just have really, really tight matches. But if I don't want to do that and I just want to fucking roll a dice and see what the fuck happens, I walk up to any arcade machine that I could see and be like, let's see what is up here. Now, for me, 6 or 7 times out of 10, I'm going to beat that guy's ass. And they're going to leave. But I'll feel good about myself. Sometimes, though, you sit down and some guy's just been doing fucking Kimberly Carey combos for 4 hours. And they're going to kill you. Zibazabzabza says, having the same problem with Hunt Showdown. MMR goes from 0 to 6,000. That's broken down into stars with a bell curve of 1 to 6. In the end, there's only 3 pools of players. New and shitty, most players, and sweat loads. One of my friends is near the sweat lord rank, so we have to constantly play against Evo level and cheaters. And the community says there's not enough players for skill-based matchmaking to work with 15, 20k average. That's nonsense. That's garbage. Hunt Showdown probably has a problem because you can have people queuing solo, but you should be queuing in as teams, and it seems tough. There's also a larger problem, and this leads to smurfing. If you actually get really good and skill-based matchmaking in the game you're playing is very strict, it actually becomes very, very difficult to play the game at all. Which is backwards as fuck. Not with... So it didn't happen with Street Fighter 6, but I've played certain games. I can't remember which ones, and it sounds like massive cope, but I remember there was something that I had to switch to player matches exclusively because the population of the game was low and it was trying to matchmake me, and it didn't have a wide enough range for ranked matchmaking, and I would just be sitting there waiting 15 minutes for a match. And I'd be like, this sucks. Now, of course, we could fix this. This could be fixed. And that is, put a fucking server browser back in your game and let people run their own fucking servers. When I played Day of Defeat, there were like 5 or 6 servers that I ended up liking where people were around my general skill level. There'd be that guy that would come in on Saturdays and beat everyone's ass, right? But like overall, and you because you'd be playing with like the same group of like 50 guys, you'd like start to learn what some people were good at and what they weren't good at, and you could like work around it. Why'd the server browser disappear from all multiplayer games? The number one reason why the server browser disappeared from multiplayer games is because part of the hidden matchmaking algorithm is to matchmake you with people that have the most expensive skins money can buy, so that you are more likely to buy those skins. There are multiple patents for this technology. They also don't like you having the control that a custom server comes with. So EA is the worst at that because EA made some incredible games back in the day that I would rather play now than any game they have ever put out. Except the only way to do so now is via pirate servers because they discontinued the support for them. Battlefield Bad Company 2 is the best game EA ever published. It is so far and away better than every Battlefield game to come out since then. Like I put my hand to my chest when I got into that game and I clicked in on the right stick and my character crouched and I tried to make them lie down. And the game was like, no, bitch, no lying down. Lying down in a shooter is for pussies. We don't do that here. And I was like, yes. I have not played the God of War DLC. I'll be playing that next week. Oh, man, Bad Company 2 was so good. I made so many casual acquaintanceships with guys that were so high they could barely speak playing Bad Company 2. Nice dudes. Nice gentlemen. Just incapacitated by weed. Shocked they didn't piss themselves. Just blazing. Can you even play Bad Company 2 anymore? I bet you can't. So the finals is good, huh? That sucks. That because they use the AI voice acting. It's, it's really frustrating to me. I used to play. So people, there was that meme going around recently of, if you've got people who think Japanese games are better, subscribe to at least one of these channels. And the Best Friends channel was there, right? And like, the funniest thing to me by far. Oh, we're watching. Hold on, I gotta go. There's a video we have to watch tomorrow by Race Vic. Okay, good. We're adding this to the thing tomorrow. Did I say this yesterday? But I'm going to a different place. So Race Vic put out this video called "I Love Racing Games." Oh, it's bright. I love racing games. They suck. But like everyone's like, "Oh, you guys just love Japanese games." It's like, dude, I was playing Call of Duty all the time. I was playing Day of Defeat. I dabbled in Counter-Strike. I was playing Battlefield. I like not every single one, but I would there every now and then one that was like obviously good, I would get into it and I would go crazy for it. I was huge into shooters. And then shooters just got like really awful. Like they became much worse very fast. They kind of turn into sports games. Damn it, Shona Hero! I said it before you posted it! Like, I can even point to the specific year. 2011. What year did Battlefield? Yeah, 2011, when Modern Warfare 3 came out. Because Black Ops was good. Black Ops was really, really good. And then fucking Modern Warfare 3, it came out. And then the next Battlefield that came out after that was Battlefield 4, which sucked and was way worse than Battlefield 3 that you were playing right now. Battlefield 4 is where we communally decided that the singular symbol of sorrow is F. So Ren Creek says that Battlefield 4 got fixed, though. So here's the part. that maybe you're talking about Advanced Warfare. Whatever. I don't care anymore. I'm old. You know, Advanced Warfare was fun for a while, and then they ran it back. That was so strange. So, yeah, guys are pointing out that Battlefield 4 launched rough, but they turned it around. Here's the weirdest part. So I don't know about you guys, but the way that I used to play shooters is Battlefield would come out, and I would play a shit ton of Battlefield right up until the next good Call of Duty game came out. And then I would play that and ping pong between different franchises based on what's the good one. So when they launched rough, it was rough. Because that was the time that I was going to spend with it, when it was rough. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, dude, I would absolutely play a multiplayer shooter often if there was one that was just really excellent from top to bottom. And that used to happen every year. There'd be 2 that were good. BattleBit? Let's take a look. Is that the one that looks like Legos? Overwhelmingly positive. And it does support controllers. Early access. It is fascinating that this looks like Lego Call of Duty. You've never even heard of BattleBit? Like, personally, I just want to play a Battlefield again. I just want to go back to Bad Company 2 or Day of Defeat. Day of Defeat servers are all nightmares now. I try every couple of years to go back and find a server that has human beings playing on it, and it's not possible. Make my own? I don't know how. I'm not smart enough. I want to go back in time to when Day of Defeat was popular. I played so much Day of Defeat. Oh, so much. I played so much Day of Defeat that the guys on my server, we played a game called fucking what was it called? It was called Kane Football. And it was that you'd go to the center point in the Kane map where they had that big statue in the middle, and the admin would teleport one of the people on the team to the very top of the statue, and then 2 admins would use the push command to just mash them across the sky, and one team would try and shoot them out of the air, and we would time it to see how long it took. And then do it with the other team. That is the server that I joined, the cop server, and I got banned. You know what? You know what, guys? 13, 14-year-old boys that have social difficulties at school can get toxic on the internet when they're playing with adults. It's true. It happens. Many such cases. Why'd you get banned? Oh, I was just such an asshole. I was just such an asshole. Yeah, I bullied the adults. I did. Have I considered streaming really short weird games? Oh, like what? Slay the Princess? Can you give an outrageous example of your youthful S-holery? Yeah, sure. But it's not Day of Defeat. It's Halo, which it's all the same, right? So I joined a Halo match, and I ran up to grab the Warthog, and I like to jump in the back and grab the gunner position, and a different guy grabbed the driving position. And as we are driving away, we hear like a 10-year-old child scream the N-word at us because we took the Warthog. And I was just like, and so then I got out of the Warthog and then went back and started to like tell the kid that he has to respect me because I'm going to fuck his mom and become his new dad. And then I'm going to lock him in the closet and all sorts of shit. And then he started to cry. And then I was like, what, you going to cry? What, you want to call people names now, you little bitch? And then he logged off. And that kid should not have been allowed to play the Halo. That's, you know, that's immoral. Don't do that. Also, teach your kids not to swear at strangers. That's rude. And also, don't be a racist small child. Don't do it. All right? The arcade was great for that. I almost got stabbed at the arcade by some older kids because I hit some of King's throws. And they were like, you little piece of shit. And then they chased me out of there. And like everyone who played fighting games at the arcade in the 90s has a story of that nature. Because the older kids, you know, they're 16 and 17, and you're like 12, and you tick throw somebody a couple times, and it's on. And, you know, I'm thinking back. I'm going to assume there are people that are around my age who played fighting games in the 90s. Was it weird that the arcade was completely unsupervised 100% of the time? I don't think I ever saw an adult at my arcade ever. It was run like a laundromat. Like, it's just a thing that just makes money. Your dad used to leave you there? Your dad's either irresponsible or cool or both. Arcade culture has a lot of value. Okay? Like in Montreal, like part of arcade culture was walking by the arcade downtown across from the police station on St. Catherine and seeing like 5 to 10 like Chinese 20-year-old women smoking, being super pissed off because their boyfriends popped in for a quick game of DDR and they won't leave. Like that was like literally every single Friday. And they all look so goddamn mad. And I imagine some of it is that they all got tricked again. Right? Marvel says didn't grow up in an arcade culture. Sadly, small town and the closest arcade was the small one in the movie theater 1 hour away. Arcade culture is a fantastic thing because I look back on it fondly. I know Wooly looks back on it fondly. A lot of people look back on it fondly. Every single thing about arcade culture was dog shit and horrible. Like the worst way you could ever have enjoyed anything. But it was really loud. Boy, it was really loud. Oh my God. Was it as bad as current Twitter culture? No. Twitter culture is like... I'm not, you know what? I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to get into it. I'm not even going to touch it. Not even going to touch it. Arcade culture was, I hope I don't play so well that I get stabbed. And also, we played Mortal Kombat for 15 minutes. I can no longer hear anything. The Mortal Kombat 3 machine is the ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 machine is the loudest thing I have ever seen in my life. I mean that without irony. It is the loudest device I have ever seen. I'm pretty sure it got regulated. Louder than an airplane? At the distances that I've been from an airplane, yes. Oh my God, that thing was unbelievable. All right, let's thank some people and play some Slay the Princess, huh? Louder than the Killer Instinct machine? Yes. The ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 machine was the loudest that there ever was. I'm pretty sure the loudness got regulated after that because it was ear shattering. It was oh. So the reason why Ultimate Mortal Kombat was so loud is that every Mortal Kombat machine. So okay, so oh great, I'm glad that people don't know. So Jonathan LP says, but isn't loud good in the arcade? Yes, but here's the problem. Everybody wants to have the loudest machine in the arcade. And Mortal Kombat had like an internal mandate. Every time a machine came out, that it was going to be the loudest machine in the arcade. And that just kept happening over and over. Like, you could feel the air around an Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 machine. It was so loud that you couldn't hear any of the music. Does that make any sense? Because it was running out of, like... When I say loud, you mean... No, I mean the thing is, like, internally, like, made to just crank all the way up, and there's no way to turn it down. Loud enough to cause hearing damage? Absolutely. Absolutely. No question. Mr. Pylon says, oh, that's why Pat is so loud. Fun fact. I didn't talk like this for much of my life. How's my tinnitus? Comes and goes. I grew up in the 90s. I have tinnitus. But what was I saying? Yeah, I used to be a whisper mumbler. Hey, my name's Pat. Hey. Like that was how I spoke. I had very bad social anxiety, and my parents at dinner would have to ask me to speak up every single day because they could not understand what I was saying. Peach Saliva says, I wish I could have known soft talk Pat. No, you don't. You would have been inflamed by soft talking Pat. It's just an infinite chorus of speak louder. So what this, yeah, you would have beat me up. Yeah. Okay. What changed? So that was me in elementary and high school. And I did not like the group of people I knew from my high school. So when I went to Cégep, which is college, I was like, I'm going to make a completely new start. And no one's going to know the old me. So I'm going to start all the way over. And I am going to make sure I'm heard. Because everybody gets mad when they can't hear me. So I would introduce myself to every single person that I sat next to for every single class that I had that semester. And it was, hi, like too much. Like, hey, nice to meet, like much too much. Very awkward. Probably looked weird. But it was a massive improvement to, hey, that was a big improvement. And then I met a couple people, and then I started hanging out with them. And then because I was already speaking at a louder volume, even when I normalized my volume over years, I normalized it down to this. And me and Paige were talking about this the other day, in which I talk exclusively with my chest. I don't do mouth talking or throat talking. It's all my chest. Every single thing I ever say comes from the top of my lungs. To the point where I have a lot of trouble going underneath this volume. Like like Paige is like whisper, and I'm like, okay, I'm whispering. And she right. So yeah. People used to tell me to speak up. How many people told you to shut up? A lot. Pat, use how to use your mouth voice. I actually don't know. Weird. I use my butt voice. Thank you. Yeah, I had to overcome mumbling by plugging myself into an amp. I actually recently spoke to somebody in French on the phone and discovered that I actually do know how to speak French, which was very strange. That was really actually very weird. Why is that surprising? I don't don't speak French. Like, and what I mean is I don't actively seek out to speak French. And I don't really feel that confident because my French isn't very good. But I don't have a problem communicating in French, if that makes any sense. You know how to say merde? So, Nanaki, what you said doesn't make any sense because that's actually mostly Spanish. So Nanaki says bonjour, je m'appelle Nanaki. Como compel-tu état? Which is gibberish. It's like, I don't mean to be rude, but it's gibberish to the point where I don't actually know what you are intending. Like, it's very difficult to not sound like a condescending piece of shit, but when you can't figure out the intent, the Hatefish says "ma français c'est très mal, parlez-vous anglais?" That'd be mon français, because French is a masculine word. I don't know what that says, Fefe. The problem is like when you type it and I'm not hearing it, it's difficult for me to get to approximate the syllable that you're trying to make. Since you speak Quebecois French, how hard is Paris French for you? Is it like speaking country Southern English or completely different language? Oh, that's great. I love this question. So there's two things you can do here. One, Parisian French is easier to understand than Quebec French because it has a clearer distinction between words. Parisian French also sounds like you have a massive stick up your ass. Oui, bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Bienvenue à la stream aujourd'hui. Versus, hey, bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Merci. Bienvenue à la stream. Like to speak Parisian, you have to be like, ooh, ah, la, 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 and to speak Quebec French, you're smoking. But so yeah, one is accent and the other is dialect. Both. This is my favorite. Both forms of French are afraid of the cultural expansion of their neighboring English populations, and therefore take words in English that are loan words and translate them into new French words, but both of them do so differently with absolutely no crosstalk at all. What's the French word for spaghetti? Pat, it's spaghetti. Oh. Dad Asna says joueur animateur en direct, which is streamer. Whereas the average Parisian would probably say le streamer. Is it just so that they can correct others? Yes. It absolutely is. It unironically absolutely is. There's two reasons for that. One is the belief of the French language is the most purest language and the oldest language and the most beautiful language, blah 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 blah. The second of which is that France, the French language has historical roots as one of the most widely used lingua francas, specifically due to its incredibly complex grammar structure that makes it incredibly specific when you need to. So Parisian French, if you have a really, really super fucking important multilingual contract to go between multiple nations or multiple companies that all speak different primary languages, you might actually end up hiring lawyers from France to write it because it's really, 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 really specific. It's very, very exact. Isn't it also because France was an empire like Britain and kind of forced language everywhere? Yes. Vietnamese's second most spoken language is French. Sorry, Vietnam's second most spoken language is French because of the French colonialism in Vietnam, for example. Necros and Clemendive says Vietnam uses the Latin alphabet and then Vietnam uses the French alphabet. That uses the Arabic alphabet. You use the Arabic alphabet. There's no such fucking thing as the French alphabet. Latin alphabet. Wait, am I thinking of numbers? I'm thinking of numbers. Now I'm stupid. What's the Florida of Canada? Oh, c'est Quebec, mon ami. Florida of Canada is definitely Quebec. Alberta's Texas. Paige, have you been to Alberta other than the fact that we drove through? It's wild. It's so crazy. Is Toronto the New York or the Chicago? I don't personally have much experience with New York or Chicago. Toronto wants to tell you that it's the New York of Canada, but it's not. We don't have an equivalent. Everything I've heard about Montreal makes it sound like Pacifica from Night City. Nah. I've lived all over Canada. My experience with Alberta is that Calgary wants to be Texas really badly, and Edmonton wants to be Calgary really bad. Interesting. Yeah, New York is its own ecosystem, held up by the shoulders of the industrious people of New York City. That is to say, the rat people. The rats. Is BC Canadian Cali? No, BC's Canadian Washington State. They're functionally indistinguishable. Like Seattle and Vancouver are like a fucking 90-minute drive from each other. It is. They're the same. They're the same place. Just America flavor and Canada flavor. Between BC and Montreal, which has the better food? You'd want to say Montreal, but BC's had some good food since we came out here. Much better fish. Much better. Much better fish. Livlin kicked in a sub. Wish you a happy first holidays with Human Baby. Thank you. Are the kosher dogs better? No. 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 Sticky Gumbo Lee kicked in a sub to say, slay the princessy. That sucks. I don't like reading that. I'll read it, but I don't. Oh my God. I just realized Paige said, I love Oregon. And I'm like, is that where they found the herb oregano? It must be. Huh. The herb oregano. I'm saying that wrong on purpose? No. I would never. Green Cap sub. So with you now having beat Alan Wake 2, I think it's worth noting that the identity of Tom is actually more confusing than you thought. It sure is. And 2012, Remedy put out a B. It's good. Good. I'm glad that that's the end of that message. Definitely don't want to hear the end of that. Okay. Remedy put out a blog that caused this House of Dreams in it and reveals the diver Tom you see in the game is actually the bright presence. The bright presence inhabiting Tom's body, and the real poet Tom Zane is deep in the dark place in a paradise he made for him and Barbara Souls. This puts us at 5 different Toms, maybe. I can't. Bike and Star kicked in a sub. Thanks, man. Just started watching Twin Peaks Season 3, and I think David Lynch's greatest talent is getting the most stilted, uncomfortable performances out of people. Guys like the mild, guys like the Kubrick of mild discomfort. We got to get David Lynch to direct Tim Robinson. I want a driving crooner sketch shot by David Lynch. No, I did not mean Tim Rogers. I meant Tim Robinson. Oh, whoa, whoa, woo, woo, oh, whoa, whoa, woo, woo, oh, whoa, whoa. Cheered 500 bits to say, how about you slay these nuts in your mouth? Lamau got him. Thanks, man. Good one. Got him. Moose's Goose kicked in a sub. Thanks, Moose. I beat the Alan Wake 2 and found out that we are all writers. But for real, I am the DM of my D&D group, and I forgot to fully write this next session that's tomorrow. You know what you can do, right? Just lie. Here's what you do. Make a generic dungeon, and then just ask them if they see anything. Ask them if they want to roll perception for anything in the room, and then when they do, roll a bunch of fake dice. behind the board and be like, you don't see anything. And then when they try and leave, be like, are you sure? Are you sure? And then roll another dice. And just keep them stuck in the fucking room for 2 hours. Just look up a puzzle for children. Oh, VIP Nicole, good night. I'm not familiar with that username. Oh, I just added them. That's wrong. Oh, that's the princess. Oh, no, I can't type. Man, that made me look super smart. Did it work? It did. Yeah, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. Well, you know, I feel bad because I haven't started yet. Hello, Nicole. I've heard good things about your performance. I hope you don't mind, but it takes me like 90 minutes or more to even start playing anything because I'm in an incorrigible gab. Can't help it. Can't help it. It's like, hey, let's play Slay the Princess, but first, let's talk about how much tinnitus I have because of a Mortal Kombat machine at the arcade. A lot is the answer. A local sector wizard kicked in a sub. Thanks for the show, Funny Goblin Man. Thank you. Have you heard of Picayune Dreams? It's a new Bullet Heaven game, and it's great. I have not, but I love Bullet Heaven. I love Bullet Heaven. Bullet Heaven's a great genre. Great new genre, that Bullet Heaven. Thank you. What the hell? Is this like a PS1 game? Yo, this looks like shit, but like the good way. Oh, this looks... this is hideous. I'm into it. Add it to the wish list. No, I won't put it on screen. No. Oh, did you guys get sound? Oh, I'm very sorry about that. Pat, did you ever watch Pure Ownage when it was popular? Yeah, I'll tell you what, that show was really confusing for somebody who didn't play Command & Conquer Generals. And I'll be honest, I think we all know why anyone bothered to give Pure Ownage any attention at all, and it was because of FPS Doug. FPS Doug was the heart of that show. Yeah, Elden Ring DLC got leaked for February. So my life is scheduled for you. Q1, motherfuckers! Let's get that fiscal quarter! Daku kicked in a sub. Any plans to play the God of War DLC on stream? Yes. I'll be doing that next week. Hatefish sub. 41 months of Pat being a fucking goblin, and I'm still loving it. Why, thank you. I appreciate it. I gotta catch up on my Miracle Run. GarageBand Arcade kicked in 500 bits. Thanks, GarageBand. Hey, Pat, hope all is well. Just got a PS5 with DMC5 SE and was wondering what your Nero control scheme is and what the DualSense made max acting easier. So I actually find it much easier to DualSense max act. And there's a really specific reason for that. The really specific reason for that is that the I'm going to use some terms here. So this tends to be a term you would use for an arcade stick, but throw in terms of a button is distance from fully untouched to fully touched, right? So the PlayStation 5 controller has the longest throw of any modern controller, but the least amount of resistance. What this means is that it's the easiest to click like a button consistently. It's the opposite of the GameCube controller. That makes max acting very, very easy. As for what my control scheme is, I put Devil Trigger on LT, on L1. I put Max Act. I put, Exceed on L2. I put Special Button on Circle. And replace the... Wait, do I? No, I put it on right trigger. No, I think I use the default. The only thing is I have a... hold on, let me load it up. I have a special... I have a special controller profile that fucking auto fires and holds Nero's gun for me. Because I think that mashing that shit sucks. Why can I not manage my controller support? Enable Steam input, please. Yeah, I have a modified layout that I made in February of this year called Mash Turbo plus Hold to Gun, in which if I hold the gun button down for 1 second, it'll keep holding it until I hit it. And if I double tap and hold the gun button, it will auto fire. I think that person was talking about PS5, not PC. Well, in that case, I actually used the default. I did mix it around a whole bunch back in the day. But at the end of the day, I found that if I wanted to hold somebody with the devil arm, putting it on R2 is actually the easiest, and that having it on RT allows you to devil arm your reverse exceed timing more easily. The default controls are good. The only thing you absolutely have to change is getting breakaway fucking off of fucking L1 and replace it with DT and put breakaway back onto the down on D-pad. Because when the fuck do you actually want to break away like that? Never. Should I put gun on R1 to hold since I can't do auto fire? Yeah. You should put on or right trigger. Yeah, you should. Sorry. Big Natural Man 59 kicked in a sub. Thanks, Big Natural Man. I love you, buddy. I'm so excited for Paige to get back to the Devil May Cry. It made me very happy to see somebody come from all the way on the outside and find the joy in that shit. Though it's been a while. Paige is gonna have to replay the first 8 or 9 missions of DMC3 because jumping into I think she was on mission 11. You can't jump in back on mission 11 or 12. You'll fucking die. No, not doable. 11's the fight. No, that's 13. 7, 13, 20. Equidistant. Goatmeal sub. Break game, but one of the worst I've ever seen for backseating and spoilers. I recommend not even looking at the chat. Don't worry about it. I know there's an Elden Ring leak date. I know. Nightwolf asks, how is Paige going to play DMC with her wrists? Fun fact, her wrists actually got significantly worse because of the pregnancy. So when a lady gets full of baby, her bones start to get eaten by the baby, and her joints swell up, and her brain gets small. And that's real. And their eyesight gets worse. It's a whole thing. Babies do, in fact, drain mother's life force. It's a thing. Harry Kingsport gifted us up. Thanks, man. Fuggins kicked in us up. Thanks, Fugs. I appreciate it. Please use the money for diapers. Also, feel free to get something for your son, too. Ha ha ha. Vigog sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Why should you look prettier and healthier, though? Because babies are good for skin, though. There's something, the glowing is some kind of skin thing. So skin look nice, brain gets small. Did I see the Alan Wake 2 BAFTA nominations for Best Actor / Supporting Actor? They're hilarious. I did not. So I really liked the lady who played Saga Anderson in Alan Wake 2. But I feel fairly confident that her role in Alan Wake 2 is the worst American accent I've ever heard in a video game by somebody who actually natively speaks English. Right? We're not talking House of the Dead suffer like G did. The worst American accent. Every single scene in the game, her accent broke. Every single one. She and it doesn't break a little. It's like full sentences in British English. Like it's very bad. It's very poor. Harry Kingsport gifted another sub. Thank you. And Wolf EXE 29 also did. Thank you. And hey, Professional Witchburner gifted 25 gift subs. Thank you so much, Professional Witchburner. Awooga, awooga. Oink, oink. Hey. Hey, thank you very much. Incredible, incredible. Thank you. You're very kind. Thank you. Disco TLH says, I saw an American Magical Negro trailer / commercial. I saw that trailer. I was like, you know what? I'll see that movie on a goof. And now I'm like, I don't think I want to see that movie. That movie is got a really strange premise. That I'm not down for. What movie? That movie, the real movie that has a real title called The Society of American Magical Negroes, is a rom-com, and I didn't know what it was going to be about, and then I saw that what it's about is the secret society of magic black people that exists to make white people less uncomfortable. And I'm like, I kind of get what that might have been where I was going, but I'm just like, I kind of didn't want to be in the movie at all. It is a great title. I also thought it was going to be a Harry Potter spoof. But Antares kicked in a sub. Thank you. Professional Witch Burner kicked in 500 bits. Thank you. Did you see that Warzone anti-cheats are now giving cheaters active schizophrenia alongside accelerating gravity to insta-kill them for no matter how small a drop is? I'm down with this. This is good. I think if you cheat, you should be able to have mental illness inflicted upon you. Ragasquid sub. Thanks, Ragasquid. Random question. Would Dragonlance be a good series to get you into if you like the plot and characters of BG3? No! No. I would have said yes 30 years ago. However, I would say that getting into Dragonlance now is a fool's errand. There are like hundreds of Dragonlance books, and they are not readily accessible. I know this because I've tried to find them, and a lot of them got like singular prints and then just weren't popular, so they fucking died. Like it's very incomplete. It's like who says you want to read all of them? So 10 Division, you don't have to read all of them. But a huge amount of like Dragonlance books are like, here's what this character did before showing up as a bit character in this story. And you're like, oh, I'd like to hear about that. What's that character's story? And then you go and you try and find it. You're like, oh, there was a story about this character. Let's go find it. And then you find out, oh, actually, I can't find it ever. I will never be able to read it. And that's a bummer. What's Dragonlance? Dragonlance is the TSR fantasy series that was not Forgotten Realms. Forgotten Realms won that war. Primarily because of Drizzt and R.A. Salvatore. Ragasquid. Forgotten Realms. Just read that. Niffenbox sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Kai9 kicked in $10. Thanks, Kai. Says, me, a JP player, playing against another JP. What the fuck? You shouldn't be allowed to do that. Right? And also, what's your favorite example of subtext in gameplay in video games? For instance, I like how in Dragon Quest V, your main playable character doesn't have the typical hero spells. What are your favorite implicit storytelling via gameplay? I think Persona 3 is the only game to correctly use its own social link system. Because Persona 3 gives you a scenario in which half or more of the social links in that game are fucking losers. And the people that you really like and want to spend time with aren't social links. And so you have to wrestle with the idea as to whether or not you are faking being these people's friends for power. And the answer for Moon is you are. Fuck Moon. I joined a cult. Give me money. Shut the fuck up. Scarnahu sub. Thanks, Scarnahu. This game is so rad. If you like the narrator, he also does a podcast called The Magnus Archives that has a lot of the same vibes. Well, so far, I haven't heard anything. Did you see Yakuza 8 will have Honey Pop-esque character bio sheets? It's like Persona with adults. I mean, it is Persona with adults. It's a Sega RPG. There's Persona with adults in 7. No bad guy sub. No comment this month. Just want to see this Grand Blue clip. Yo, post the Grand Blue clip. No bad guy, you posted that like ages ago. Post it back again. Damn it, he can't post it. Send it to a mod. The mod will post it. Damn Dex kicked in a sub. Thanks, Damn Dex. I appreciate it. Biggest Dickus the fourth sub. Thank you. I was going to ask for top of the stream, but those cowards at Twitch changed their minds again. What? Hey, yesterday was such a well-timed stream for me. Oh, man. Bunch of stupid motherfuckers over the past couple of days. Why'd I get banned? And then you like look at their stream, and you're like, nobody likes intellectual dishonesty. Okay. No, nobody likes that.
Victory.
Stop playing. I'm adding it to the list. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but in my rules and the rules of the Discord that you can join if you subscribe, dancing on the line of the rules is against the rules. I don't have any tolerance for I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not I'm not touching you. Shut the fuck up. It's the worst. It's the worst. Oh. Oh my God. It's worse than breaking the rules. How do you join the Discord? I think you link Discord in the Twitch thing. Honestly, I don't know how anymore. Triple Tendency kicked in a sub. Thanks, Triple Tendency. Hey, Pat, hearing you talk about arcades remind me of when I was younger. I was at a restaurant that had a little arcade and it had a Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet. My dad, who had never played a game, but I played a lot of arcade games in the 80s, absolutely destroyed me. Also, I could never beat him at Tecmo Bowl when we were at home. Cool, man. Cool. That's awesome. Rapsy kicked in a sub. Thanks, Rapsy. Hey, Nicole Goodnight kicked in 500 bits. I'm not allowed to talk because I'm a new follower, but I hope you enjoy STP. Well, I VIP'd you, so you can talk now. But thank you for the bits, regardless. Did I get the clip? Yeah, I added it. I added it to the fucking the watch later for tomorrow. So we'll watch it tomorrow. It's in the list. By the way, we're doing just a hangout and just watch YouTube crap tomorrow, starting at noon. Come on down. Wooly calls him a slop stream. I don't want to use that term because it's disgusting. Am I accepting submissions? Yeah, sure. Fuck it. I'll make a tweet tonight. I usually just call it Pat Stares at Trash. All right. Dalmic gifted a sub. Thanks, Dalmic. Where's my spreadsheet for videos? I just put them in the YouTube watch later thing. What is the point of I don't do spreadsheets. I don't know how to spread a sheet. Okay? Don't know how to do it. No, stop that. Stop it. Stop it. You do accounts receivable, you can set one up for me? No, I'm good, man. No, I'm good. Lorcan's Left Nut gifted us up. Thanks, Lorcan's Left Nut. Hey, Lorcan, are you still here? That was 15 minutes ago. Do you mind if I just call you Lorcan? Your name's a little mouthy. Bit of a mouthful. Because it's a testicle. All right. This sucks. Consume Tappers. Thanks, man. And Hyper Mike 88 kicked in a sub. Thanks, Hyper Mike. I appreciate it. Last but not least, Joe the Wisp kicked in a sub. Pat, what should I order for dinner? What do you got, dude? What are your options? Personally, I say Chinese. Have some Chinese food. You're the only streamer who's pronounced it correctly, so call me whatever. Really? It's not hard. Apparently, I'm one of me and Paige are like the only people on their internet who can pronounce Neil Newbon's name correctly. Apparently, tons of people say Neil Newbon or some shit, but it's like Newbon. That's clearly Neil Newbon. You're the only one who says my name right, Queequeg? Oh, well. Filthy Animal says, can people not read? Filthy Animal, I have to be really blunt with you. Reading is a skill. And it's a skill you have to actually practice in order to get a certain amount of proficiency with. The average person reads just enough to get by. Just enough to have not, like, failed the school. I remember vividly being a child, and I was reading... Is the year right for this? I was in grade 5. And I was reading Robert Jordan's The Eye of the World, which was a fantasy novel for adults. And my teacher was like, wow, you're reading that? That's crazy. You're reading it like a collegiate reading level. And I was like, this isn't hard. It's words. Just read the words with your fucking eyes on the plate. And like, obviously people with dyslexia or, binocular vision problems or cataracts or what have you. I mean, that's special case, right? Yeah. Dyslexia. Oh, dyslexia is way funnier. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Oh. Scarnahu says being dyslexic fucking sucks. Yeah, my dad's got an old buddy of his named Steve who flunked out of high school. So Steve would be 70-something now, so he would have been in high school in the early 60s. And he was left-handed and had dyslexia. So the brothers, because Quebec was run by the church at the time, so the brothers would strap his left arm to his desk and then tell him to, like, copy text, like, from the Bible onto a thing, and he just couldn't. Like, just couldn't. Like, couldn't. Like, one, got all the letters wrong. And then 2, he was doing it with his non-dominant hand, so it was like, wow. And they kicked him out of high school because they thought he was, let's just say the 1960s equivalent of having a learning disability. And then him and my dad became buddies because my dad also dropped out of school to work. And they just went and got jobs instead. Which was the golden age. Boy, in the 1960s, hey, I didn't finish high school. I don't know how to read. Let's go get good jobs at the factory. It's really strange. Like, part of me thinks my dad thought I was really stupid. Or, like, I'm a little gullible, particularly with my mom and dad. But like once I graduated from university, my dad took me out to dinner and told me like it was a big secret that he had never finished high school. And I'm like, Dad, you told us like every week that you've been working full time 6 days a week since you were 13. Yeah, no shit, you didn't finish high school. When the fuck were you? What? and he was like, I didn't want to. He didn't want to tell me that he didn't finish high school until I had finished university because he was afraid that that would set a bad example for me, and that I didn't have to finish my schooling. And like, I appreciate the thought, but yeah, dude. Like, it's very obvious. Oh yeah, my dad's the best. But like this is like a weird, a very strange like blind spot. And Chaz 98 sub. Thanks, Chaz 98. All right, I'm gonna take a quick I'm gonna piss. I'm gonna pee pee. So I'll be right back. Excuse me. God damn it, did I fucking do it again? Well, that's fine because the just chatting section of the stream is over. So it's appropriate, really. Fucking so stupid. Fucking so stupid. Oh my god. It's embarrassing. Jonath, I remember when they played video games on this channel. Jonath, LP, I have seen you in this chat for years, which means I know that you don't remember when we played video games on this channel. Can we spite donate to add time? You know what? I will never say no. That's not true. I will rarely say no. Rarely. I still think it's absolutely completely bananas that I used to be so wretchedly shy that I could barely speak to my teachers. And that I will just gab with y'all for hours every day. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on with that. How does that happen? How does it go? No physical person to judge you. Oh, if any of you guys have met me at a con, you will see that it doesn't matter. I got it. I remember getting up to do the first live con performance, like show, whatever you want to call it, right? At in Hamilton, Con Bravo, and I was scared of being scared, getting up onto the stage, and then I got up onto the stage and everybody was there, and I sat down. I was like, oh, okay, I feel completely normal, and I was like, what? And then I started to become anxious that I wasn't anxious. I thought that like something was wrong and or that I might have brain damage or something, but no, I just got used to it. This is a horror game and it's not intended for all audiences. Too many content warnings to mention. Slay the Princess contains flickering image effects as well as a parallax effect that on rare occasions do the motion sickness. If either of these causes health issues, don't do it. Instead, go to the options and turn them off. Hey, I want to give a shout out to the developers of this game. Having bought a game and you encounter an effect that makes you physically ill, having the warning say, just stop playing it forever, sorry, is like super pointless. Much better to have the option to be like, oh, does this effect upset you? Turn it off so you don't throw up. A little golf clap for that shit. A little golf clap. Whatever horrors you may find, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. That's no... tell my wife that. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Waka waka. Alright, so I have a couple of questions. If I start a new game, because Paige has these games, right? If I turn emote off, turn it off. If I start a new game, will it actually be a new game, or do I have to go into like preferences and like reset progress or something? Oh wow, Nicole will answer. New game is totally separate. Well, that's great. Actually, thank you. Quick menu, visible, hidden, flickering images, boil. Great. I'm gonna leave this alone for. Don't skip unseen text. Don't skip anything for now. All right. New game is a new game. Excellent. The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Let's see where I can save my games so that it's safe. Like, I don't know, 9. Yeah, 9th page. The end of the world? Oh my god, there's so many! Sweet! I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la Révolution!
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Haha, women!
Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right?
Princesses be shopping.
We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Hold up. I'm gonna see if I can, Are you guys... Yeah, you think it's a little low? Alright, so that's... Hold on. Prefs. Oh. Prefs. I mean... I think these are page settings. I think turning the... You may want to use mouse and keyboard? Okay. Music and sound go way down. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's just kick it down to here, shall we? Alright, there we go. Return. Ooh, wait, there was accessibility. What if I have no eyes? Oh, fuck. I don't have any more. Alright. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Basement. Let's kill.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist,
No talking.
binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Yeah, probably.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Yeah. No talking.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
I got this knife.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Cut woman.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
I did it! I beat the game!
Oh.
Woo!
This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Probably not.
It's like
She's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
She probably has some trick up her sleeve.
It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
Why are there two narrators? All right, fuck it. Let's go get Wendy's.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find.
What?
Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
Yo, just to watch ass, what's my Wendy's order? I get a number 3 with cheese and no extra toppings except for extra ketchup. I got a Sprite and a fry.
What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry.
Am I in fucking space?
You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
I was kind of hoping for a better ending than for saving the world.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past.
What?
No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone.
Oh, you
Trust
piece of shit. I'm
Time
trapped in a
passes.
motherfucking causality
You can't be sure
loop.
if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring...
Nicole, the game told me
You've
the
never
title
been
of the
happier.
game is Kill a Woman. I did it.
Hey, we're not just going to stay here forever, right?
I knew what the assignment was. I do like it here. Living forever is nice.
Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes.
I do color within the
Though
lines.
the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is. Not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning.
Yeah.
Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Yeah! I saved everyone! I got the good... Yeah! Woo! I got an achievement for that shit! That might be the easiest game I've ever played in my entire life. It's like, oh, expression for gratitude. Here's the track order for a special playlist. If you like to take a screenshot, you just hide the UI by hitting H. Oh, oh, I see. It's very small, the track list. Join the subreddit? Is that going to load me up onto a subreddit? It did! It did load me into the subreddit! Those are real buttons! Follow us somewhere else? This is where to find us? Mailing list, Patreon, Blue Sky, Abby's Tumblr, Studio Tumblr, etc. The other one's Scarlet Hollow. I guess I'll go back to the main menu. Did I wait, I'm fucking so confused. Did I actually super for realsy beat the whole game just now? Do I load this game? What do I load? I don't, because new game's supposed to make a new game. New game would be the move here? Okay. Because I was asking earlier if new game just does a completely different thing.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I feel
You're
like
here to slay her. If you
I feel
don't,
like maybe that's not the ending most people get the first time. That's probably not. All right. Do I get reward?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Oh, that's what it means by explore. Oh, I see. The end of the world. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked in the basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Have you considered that the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, right?
Does it? Are you a monarchist?
No.
Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress?
No.
If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
He's making a lot of good points. Can't somebody else do this?
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Have you considered maybe the world ending is okay?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Surely not. Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing such a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
But I don't wanna.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Huh. My Viva la Revolution is gone. Alright, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say, maybe I'll give her a murder. But I'm not going to commit anything until I've talked to her face to face. Because, I mean...
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to
But I like
pull
listening to
yourself
people's
out.
honeyed words.
Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Okay.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses,
Oh, that's
not
the same.
slay them.
Exact as last time.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, I guess I don't have any options. Into the box.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Well, might as well not take it this time, and because we're talking, right? And we can just go back out and get it and stab her a little
The
bit.
door to the basement creaks open,
Just a little bit.
revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
That's weird. How come she different now? Hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
You must have the wrong address.
Great job. You've given away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
I don't know if you know this, but some girls really like it
Walk
when you're
down
there
the
to kill them.
stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
Not really.
There's a
but
heavy
pretend.
chain around her wrist.
Remember how disappointed
binding
Belle
her
was
to the
when
far wall of
Beast
the
turned into a human?
She
was like,
beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to
guess.
anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. You were joking about coming to kill me, right? Do you think you could get me out of these chains?
Can we chat a little bit?
Okay.
What is your name?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
So is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully, you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
So my first I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked up here for a good reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
Every narrator here is unreliable. Every single voice in this game talking to me is suspect. Like, her not knowing her own name is incredibly sus, and her desire to talk around it is so bizarre. So you're apparently going to end the world, if I don't kill you.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
What are you going to do if I let you out of here?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
What I do doesn't really matter, right? At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world?
Maybe.
Why
I don't
would
know
I
the
even
rules of
want
this
to?
context.
We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here. And it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
How is someone able to lock her down here but not kill her? So what have you been eating?
I don't
Hot
see what
chip?
that has to do with anything.
Hot chip and lies?
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Why don't we just hang out and chat?
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Too bad.
Leaving her alive.
You
want to
hear about the
risky.
fucking
If
zapping
you don't
system?
deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
Want to look at TikTok memes?
So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Back to the knife.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here. Fine, turn your back on me, but it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has
Gene
to be
should play
bluffing
this, you're right,
once.
just to watch.
Hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment
shit.
ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen.
Oh, she's badass as hell.
Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
It did. The lighting is also different. I'm gonna lock her down here.
This is a dangerous play. Who's to say she'll actually succumb to her wounds?
Me?
She doesn't have a weapon, and she's missing an arm. You can finish this right here, right now.
Why are you arguing with me? I'll stay. You know, like, you know when you're dealing with a monster that could come back to life, and they stab it, and it goes, and it's dead, and you're like, wow, we killed it. Why not just stab it like 150 more times and then light it on fire? Right? Like, and then throw it into the ocean. Anyway, yeah, now I'm locking the door.
You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door,
I'm not gonna open that
you do your
fucking door.
best
What do you
to
think,
shut
I'm
her
fucking
out of
stupid?
your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You won't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
I bet I could ballpark it.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
No, it doesn't.
Threaten me all you want. Just makes me feel very smart.
These aren't threats. These are promises. Sooner or later, you're going to have to sleep. And I'll make sure you never see the light of day again.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped.
Ah,
And the
shit.
door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way.
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
Wait, what?
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops
Oh, that's
working.
bad.
It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach.
Whose side are you on?
Yours, of course.
But I have a duty to uphold the truth.
Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Her arm is the only part that's
Or
not
maybe
flashing.
I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends.
I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Wait, you remember?
Shh. What if he hears us? That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit.
The
I
paranoid.
think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save, after all.
This is more than deja vu. This just literally happened.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to
Of
disagree.
course I unlocked paranoid. Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and this had already happened. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We couldn't trust either of you, and as far as I'm concerned, we still can't.
He's right.
All we did was lock her away. And how'd that work out for you? No comment. Well then, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And your solution is to send us back in there? Do you want us to slay the princess, or do you want the princess to slay us? Obviously, I want you to slay her. One of you poses a threat to the world, and the other doesn't. Anyways, I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Didn't they?
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back where they started. Sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Speak for yourself. From my perspective, there were plenty of consequences. I'm never going to forget the way she just made us stop working. And that's only scratching the surface. If what you said is true, it begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or have you found yourself in another world altogether? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Probably.
If she brought an end to everything and everyone, how are we supposed to stop her? What do you want from us? I want you to succeed. You'll find a way. You're the only one who can.
I mean, but I did find a way, and that was just go in and stab. Let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
She shut down all my organs. What's up with that?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
But she's just a princess. How can you possibly justify that? She's much worse than that.
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine.
Who locked her in the basement? What the fuck is going on?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps. But it's just the way things are. You can't just goad us into doing something by calling us special. It's manipulative. Why are you trying to manipulate us? I don't know, I kinda like being special. Okay, fine. Maybe you can goad him into doing something, but he's not even the one who makes the decisions here. I'm not goading you into doing anything. You already know the princess is dangerous. All I'm trying to say is that you have to be the one to deal with her. I know it doesn't seem fair, but that's just the way it is. And for what it's worth, I know you have it in you to finish the job.
I mean, I know.
You saw what happened to us last time. We need to leave.
You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know.
No, I want to know
Going into
everything
more
I
detail would
think
just
I need to know.
overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information. What is she really capable of? How are we supposed to stop her? Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word. He isn't telling us everything he knows because he doesn't trust us, which means that we can't trust him. Stop talking yourself in neurotic circles and just get to the cabin already. Do you see the way he keeps pushing us? We have to get out of here.
I feel like I'm fighting with Stay Puft Marshmallow Man here. I feel like the princess is built out of my own conceptualization.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Time to leave, bitch.
This is good. I was worried you might fall for his shit again, but this is good. Whatever answers there are to be found, they aren't here, and they definitely aren't there. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
The only thing that matters is where I'm not going, which is the cabin. I am not going to go to the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also
Oh, you
leads
fucking
to the
piece
cabin.
of shit.
How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
No, I'm going to leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy.
Yeah!
What's going on? Where are we? It's finally happened, hasn't it? We finally cracked.
The world around you is unwound. Its physical matter replaced by textured nothingness. It is quiet. There's a distant rumbling, a sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder. Something other comes close. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. I need something shaped like me. Okay. Urgency. You have a story you need to finish. Is the only way to escape this place. Force pushing against your will. No, you cannot go back. Not there. Regret. This world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. A wagging finger. There's only so much thread in this place. Do not waste it. I am our only salvation.
You're on a path in the woods.
Chapter
And
1?
at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
What?
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
I definitely know. Wait. I definitely know where I'm going.
Somehow I doubt that, but fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh,
That's strange.
damn it.
It looks like this path also leads to the...
Turn around again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time.
You're not gonna emotionally blackmail me into this, shithead.
Stakes and consequences aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that.
Stop gaslighting me.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Oh yeah? Well, what if I start walking in a weird direction? I'm gonna keep trekking until I find a way to leave.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Good. And then I'm gonna show
And here
my
we
ass
go.
on
As you
Twitch.
trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Well, this
Wait.
sucks.
What's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility.
Yeah.
Because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Yeah! Fuck you.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness, but it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Yeah. What?
You're on a path in the woods, And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement
Is
of
that a fucking
cabin
wall?
is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
This already happened.
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
Yeah, contrarian!
The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day.
Paranoid and
If by
contrarian.
ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever,
I see.
then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
These walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
Okay, definitely gonna head to the cabin and kill that lady.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
I think he can see this.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it.
No, that's true.
Let's keep an open mind.
Alright, and in we go, I guess.
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space.
What the fuck?
But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Well, I'm going down with that.
If he wants us to take
Oh,
it,
this sucks!
maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out
Oh,
the window.
all this shit
Good as a
sucks
knife
ass.
against a
Oh, look at
world-ending
that.
monstrosity anyway. No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? You have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise?
Dude, it's weird in here.
You can't just say that. But when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay
This is
calm.
very stressful geometry.
How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
You didn't say anything about the mirror.
Ooh, we should look at ourselves. Wouldn't that be fun? You won't be looking at yourself because there isn't a mirror. There's the table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
What?
There's definitely
there is a mirror.
There isn't.
But there...
You insisting it isn't there just makes me want to look at it even more.
Why would you lie about the mirror?
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
I'm gonna look at that fucking mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Let's wipe it.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
What the
I hope you know how
fuck?
ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
Why am I fucking scaly? Alright, I'm taking the knife this time.
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Okay, fine, you took the knife, but you really shouldn't hold it like that. Then how are we supposed to hold it? The other way, thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom. It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice.
He is right.
You switch your grip on the blade. Congratulations.
He is right, yeah. It is cooler that way.
Yes! Isn't this so much better?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, fine. You're right. This does look a lot better. It really doesn't matter. Just get on with it and deal with the princess already.
Oh, man. I'm throwing it out the window!
Yes! Do it! Seriously. You throw the blade at the window, glass showering the cabin as your weapon flies out into the night. I suppose you'll just have to deal with the princess without it. We'll be fine, don't worry about it. What's the worst that could happen? The world ends. Been there, done that. I'm not so sure. This place is already messing with my head. It would be much better if we had a weapon. What's done is done. Good luck, hero.
Into the basement.
The door to the
Oh,
basement
Jesus,
creaks open,
fuck.
revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odor that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want
I can
to do
take her.
this.
Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. We don't even have a weapon.
But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure.
And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success?
There'll still be plenty of ways
Yeah!
to ruin this day.
I'm gonna take them soft stairs.
You step to the right. The path feels soft and reassuring against your feet. The stairs almost seem to cradle you as you make your way down, like they're guiding your heels from one step directly to the next. You barely have to extend any effort to descend, the stairway doing most of the work for you. You don't feel like there's any concern that you might slip or tumble or lose your way. But the further you go, the deeper you sink in. First, it's like a lovely plush carpet, your toes digging down and barely hitting any resistance at all. But soon enough, you're fighting just to keep your knees from sinking out of sight. The softness threatens to swallow you whole, to wrest control of your body and surround you in a false ethereal bliss, pretending to save you from the cruelties of choice and consequence. It's slow going, but you manage to fight against the overwhelming urge to fall back into comfort and nothingness.
Yeah.
The very struggle to continue forward consuming your every thought.
Soft blankie.
You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go.
Huh?
Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
Ah, crap.
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you okay?
What the hell was that? What happened to us?
I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways.
That was weird.
The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here.
And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down.
You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
I didn't realize I was here.
That's okay. Sometimes I forget where I am too.
The shadows recede, revealing the princess's face. She's so warm and friendly. It's deception. Don't buy into it.
How strange. So, why are you here?
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another.
Okay.
We can do that?
I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back?
You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Does it matter?
It does.
Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your
that's
head,
tough, bro.
unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
There's more of you.
Do you need help? Not that there's much I can do chained up like this, but I'm the only one down here. So if you need anything, I'll do my best.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to get under my skin?
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I, which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are. How would we even do that? Where would we start? We could always start by retrieving the blade.
Well, that's gonna be tough.
The one he made us throw out the window. I wasn't the one who threw it. Oh, come on, you told us to. Don't try to pass the blame now that it's come back to bite us. Well, if I'd known we'd be dealing with this, maybe I wouldn't have been so hasty with my suggestions. I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her.
Yeah.
It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
Getting down here was weird, like I was pulled apart and put back together. Do you know what happened?
I don't know what happened to you, but you look like you're in one piece now. But I understand. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either. We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in.
I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you? You're not really cut out for this, are you? Why are you even here?
I'm gonna regretfully think about the time I threw the blade out the window.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. Take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room
Wait, was
spins,
that
your
all
perception
three simultaneously?
multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self
thought that
is
was a
pulled
bug.
in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone.
Ah, shit.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... We can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now.
I'm fucking
No, I
spaghettiing
don't,
out,
because
guys.
this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all
Huh.
falls apart. I think he's gone.
Did I just fucking kill the narrator?
We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others,
They just don't fit. They just don't fit.
we can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
I'll do my best. Oh. You didn't know if she had the chance to hear your reply. She's gone, replaced with something else. I got the achievement when... Oh.
She's gone. Where did she go?
No! Shit! There's a mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. No. Don't do that.
The narrator's gone.
He is. Does that mean the world ended? Again, what the hell are we supposed to do?
Hey, he stopped us from looking there. I don't know where she went. I don't know how we'd even go looking for her.
Right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. Again, what the hell are we supposed to do?
I'm gonna look at this fucking mirror.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
Wait, why are you... The mirror never scared him before.
It's different now. It feels... I don't know. Final.
You approach the mirror. Gaze into my own reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You're alone in a place that's empty. It's quiet here. Back to the cabin. You're at the cabin. Approach her. You recognize the presence inhabiting the shell. It's the entity that dwells in the spaces between.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
You're that thing I met in the space outside the woods. I thought that was a dream.
Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
What the fuck does that mean?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
I don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
What is the gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. These ones are a contradiction, a winding kaleidoscope of paths and walls. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. I am sorry that you met this vessel so early in your journey, but they will make for a rich and vibrant heart. Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Yes. Can you let her out of there?
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
What now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget.
There it is.
If only you believe her to be able to.
There it
Bring me more
is.
perspectives, so that I may be whole. And perhaps then we will know our freedom.
It is. It is a being of perception. This is just the Jungian collective unconscious made manifest. Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
How much will I forget?
Everything. Until we meet again.
How many more pieces do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
What is it if I don't let you do this?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're gonna do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you gonna do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
I'm not going back.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Wait forever.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
What? All right, let's relaunch.
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
All right, you win this round. Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die. Bring the stranger to her.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
What was the name of the chapter? Was of this chapter? Hero and the Princess, huh? The second one was The Stranger. Was it all? But yeah, it was chapter 2 was the nightmare. I bailed on the nightmare? Aren't I just going through one route? You think this has one route? No, I thought that... I don't know what I thought. I don't know if this is actually chapter 1 or if this is a variation of a fake chapter 1. Let's go.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the...
I have skip on... What? No? Wait, hold on. Did I screw that up? Hold on. Oh, I wanted it to be scene text. How do I skip only unseen? Oh, it already skips scene text? So I would hit skip. Skipping, okay. So last time... Jesus, Paige! Okay, I'll stop fucking around and play the game. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave the knife this time.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Pat somehow managed to avoid the main plot into his third run. Isn't this the third run? I'm here to save you. I'm a liar.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
I see.
You're trying to get her to lower her guard. It's a gamble, but it might work.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
What do you mean
You
I
were
bailed
lying
on the
when you said you were
nightmare?
here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it.
I turned around and left? I thought that that was an option. It is? Let's examine the chains.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'm gonna check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying somewhere up there, and if not, maybe I can get something to break you free.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Wait, what?
Is someone else here? You try the door.
What?
It's locked from the outside.
Let me out of here.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is
Bitch, are
done.
you physically present in the space? Oh, back down we go, I guess.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates
Oh,
before raising
shit!
her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
I guess this is how this
As
happened
she
last
rips
time.
her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Yeah, fuck you. You're such a shit.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm.
I'm sorry about your hand.
Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
All right, let's do it.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
What?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
What the fuck, dude? Warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it?
Why do I
No,
even need
you
to
don't
do
have to
this
do
if you
this,
can just
right?
control my bullshit?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from
Why am
your
I a monster man?
infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and
Oh,
sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it?
Well, darn.
A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm wise to your tricks, dipshit.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination
The
attempts.
four of us?
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Well, on to the cabin, I suppose.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My
so fucking
passions
lost.
are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
To the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table.
So the
with a pristine
interior of the
blade
cabin
perched on
is
its
meeting
edge.
my own
The
perception
blade is your implement.
of
You'll
the
need it
princess
if you
from
want to
last
do this
time.
right.
You didn't say anything about the mirror.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table.
I want to see how handsome I am, bitch.
That's a great idea. We have to make sure we're looking our best before we save her. We shouldn't waste time preening, but if he is lying about the mirror, it might be important. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
Let's approach that mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe it clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Yeah, I'm a bird person. I'm a big bird. What kind of bird? Anyway, let's take the knife.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world
Call.
without a weapon. I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies. Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us. Again. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job.
Because if we're using a perceptual basis for these characters, then the use of a crow or a raven as thought
The door
would
to
be
the basement
cute.
creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
Right, right.
You walk down the stairs
Oh,
and
her
lock
dress
eyes
is all
with the
fancy
princess.
and her bosom's all
There's a heavy
busty.
chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you.
Okay,
right?
I was about to ask.
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Okay, yeah, the perspective of the last
you hear
person
that?
is
She said we're dashing.
affecting
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
Oh, and she maintains
That's
her
right,
perception.
villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try
narrator
and kill her.
doesn't.
It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands
Everyone
remain
maintains their perception but
unstained by
narrator.
cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world. But everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on, if she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
You killed me last time and it hurt like a lot. Why'd you do that?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
But before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
I don't really have any strong feelings one way or the other.
At least you're being honest. I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a nihilist. The princess shifts in uncomfortable confusion.
Me too. I don't care.
She wasn't confused for long. If she doesn't care, then clearly she didn't end the world. It would take a great desire for evil to do something so inconceivable, and our dearest has not an ounce of cruelty within her. All is well, and it's high time we rescued our beloved.
the bad ending where I was trapped in an infinite nothing. It's because I chose not to perceive anything. And if I don't perceive her, there isn't anything to perceive. Do I really have to cut you out again? I didn't care for it last time.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains.
Can't we?
Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. Narrator took over my body.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
Oh, I thank you.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
There's tons of people like you,
I
narrator.
think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
All right, let's try it again.
No. I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
You wouldn't.
I would.
He would.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked.
It worked because we thought it would work.
I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
I told you.
Perception
There's
is
no
reality.
life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat?
You know what we'll do if you try it.
You're going to regret this.
Am I? I don't know. This seems nice.
What do we do now?
What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I want you to tell me what you want.
I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy.
It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
There must be, but what would make you happy?
I just want to make you happy.
Are her eyes animating out?
Broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
You have to want something more than just making me happy.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
But you need your own thing. You just met me. You can't base your entire happiness around me.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
Oh, hey. You don't get the chance to ask another question, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
No. She was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
It's gonna be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before. You always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what
Why
we
is
see.
perceiving myself
What if we
the
just
end?
sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
I'll see you on the other side. It'll be okay.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
Time for the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into my reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Back to the cabin. You're at the cabin.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Are you the same as before? How much have you changed? Oh my god.
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
What does it feel to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
When this is all done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
You know When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
You don't have any preferences for how you would like to change or grow?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
What do you feel about me? These vessels I've been bringing you, I've hurt them.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but they are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate to something more. And you are something more than that, too. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
How many more vessels do you need?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
You've been kinder to me than anybody else. Why?
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
I'm ready to go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Jesus.
You're on a path
Okay.
in the woods.
That's enough for tonight. That's pretty crazy. What do you think? I think that I'm dealing with a perception of an idea that can't think for itself, because whenever I ask it a direct question about its own wants, means I don't have any idea what they'll answer. And if I don't have any idea what they'll answer, there isn't an answer to give. Weird. I'll probably come back to this. Hey, Valentine sub. Thanks, Valentine. Hey, follow Nicole Goodnight. She's cool. Thanks for dropping by, Nicole. Pat, you're such a video gamer. Why are you not rotating your saves like a badass? Because this game is about keeping that one save. Fenrir Sulfur sub, thank you. And so did Checksmaster86, who said Pog. Thanks, guys. All right, I'm out of here. I'm going to kiss wife and baby and also animals. So I will see you guys later. Tomorrow at noon for Let's Watch thing. Okay? Bye-bye.